The Galactic Council's emergency session had been called to address what many considered the most disturbing intelligence report in millennia. Ambassador Thyran of the Peaceful Collective trembled as she read the findings aloud, her crystalline voice cracking with disbelief. The human military maintains detailed records of over 15,000 distinct conflicts throughout their recorded history, she announced to the horrified assembly. They have names for different types of warfare: civil wars, world wars, cold wars, proxy wars, guerrilla wars, cyber wars. A collective shudder ran through the chamber. Most species represented had experienced perhaps 2 or 3 major conflicts in their entire evolutionary development. Traumatic events that shaped their entire civilization's approach to avoiding future violence. Counselor Zephix of the Harmony Worlds raised one of his 6 arms. Surely this data must be corrupted? No species could survive such constant conflict. The holographic display activated, showing Earth's surface marked with thousands of red indicators. Each represented a historical battlefield, and there were so many that continents appeared to glow crimson. The reports are verified, Ambassador Thyran continued, her bioluminescent patches flickering with distress. Furthermore, humans appear to have developed warfare into what they term an art and a science. They study it academically in institutions they call military academies. High Chancellor Vorth of the Serenity Union, whose species had achieved spaceflight by avoiding all conflict for 3 millennia, spoke with barely concealed horror. Do they not understand the psychological trauma, the societal collapse that follows violence? The human representative, General Patricia Williams, had been listening in patient silence. Now she stood, and the chamber fell quiet. She was a compact woman with graying hair and scars that told stories none of the aliens wanted to hear. If I may address the Council's concerns, she began diplomatically. Are humans not afraid of war? Ambassador Thyran blurted out, unable to contain her species' fundamental confusion. Williams considered the question carefully. Around her, she could see the genuine fear and bewilderment in dozens of alien faces. These were species that had evolved beyond conflict, whose entire civilizations were built on the foundation of avoiding violence at all costs. We are terrified of war, she said quietly. Every human who has ever lived through combat carries those scars forever. We know exactly what war costs because we have paid that price repeatedly throughout our history. The chamber stirred with confusion. If humans feared war, why do they seem so comfortable with it? But here's what you need to understand about us, Williams continued, her voice growing stronger. We learned something that perhaps your species never had to learn. Sometimes the cost of avoiding a fight is higher than the cost of fighting it. She activated her personal display, showing images of human history that made several aliens look away. We fought wars to end slavery. We fought wars to stop genocide. We fought wars to defend our families, our homes, our right to exist. Yes, war is terrible. Yes, it breaks everything it touches. But we discovered that some things, freedom, justice, the right to live without fear, are worth fighting for. Chancellor Vorth leaned forward, his peaceful species struggling to comprehend. But surely negotiation, compromise, works beautifully, Williams interrupted gently, when both sides are willing to negotiate in good faith. But what do you do when faced with an enemy who sees your desire for peace as weakness to exploit? What do you do when someone decides that your children don't deserve to live? The question hung in the air like a toxic cloud. Most of the species present had never had to answer it because they'd been fortunate enough to never face such an enemy. We don't choose war because we're not afraid of it, Williams explained. We choose war when we must because we're more afraid of the alternative. We're afraid of a universe where evil goes unchallenged because good beings are too peaceful to stop it. She gestured to the star map, showing the current galactic political situation. You've had 3,000 years of peace because humanity has been willing to do the jobs you can't stomach. We've been your shield against the species that would devour your peaceful worlds. We've been your sword against those who would enslave your children. The chamber was deadly silent now, the weight of realization settling over the assembled delegates. So yes, Williams concluded, we are afraid of war, but we're even more afraid of a universe where no one is willing to fight for what's right. That's why we study warfare, why we prepare for it, why we're good at it. Not because we love violence, but because we love peace too much to let others destroy it. The question was never asked again.